Welcome to Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living, Wednesday Inspiration Service. Oh, I love it. The bears are already here. We're starting to see the bears of love. Yes, hug up those bears. Give them a lot of love so when they get to the children, they'll just be filled with love. I'm Reverend Gregory Toole, and I'd like to open us with prayer. So let's turn within for a moment. What I know is that there's just one life. One infinite power, one, so awesome beingness, one life, one whole perfect complete life. That one life is God's life. It is the essence of all that is, and it is perfect at every level. It is infinite intelligence, infinite life, infinite love, infinite being of goodness, right action always. And that is the very life that lives itself through and as me, through and as each one of us. It is our very life. Our life is a divine expression of that one. So knowing this to be true, I know that we show up here today in the fullness of our divinity, in the fullness of love, in the fullness of clarity, in the fullness of wisdom, fullness of love. And so in that, I know that something beautiful is unfolding here today. Something is opening for each one of us. Something is expanding for each one of us. Our seeing is expanded. Our knowing is expanded. And our experience of God is expanded. I know that our speaker today, Reverend Mary Morgan, is just the perfect vehicle and conduit and vessel for Spirit to bring forth whatever it is for each one of us and all of us that allows for the highest knowing, the highest experience for our time together. And so I just bless this time. I know that our musician, Elise Carver, is also inspired and a vessel for beautiful music to be played. I bless it all. I call it good. I am grateful. I let it be. And so it is. We have some announcements today. As we roll along, can you believe that this makes 3 weeks, today marks 3 weeks into the new year? Can you believe it? I thought we just got started, but here we are, 3 weeks in, can I say that? All right, so let's silence our phones, and that way nothing will get in the way or interfere with our service. And maybe I think this mic might need to be lowered a little bit, or maybe I'm just hearing it loudly up here. All right, so Light Your Way, Courage and Faith in Action is a workshop with Jenny Lindhorst this Saturday, January 24th. We're going to really learn the power of journaling and how powerful. That's been a powerful practice for me for a long, long time. In fact, I just threw away like 40 years worth of journals because I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to read these again. But it's not necessarily for the reading later on. It's the process that we use in journaling that's really opening and powerful. So come be with Jenny, who is a professional at this, right? She's a professional writer and teacher of writing and a journaler herself. That'll be this Saturday, 10 a.m. right over in Richelieu Hall. Drumming Circle will be this Sunday, 12:30 across from the teen room. So get your drumming on. You don't have to have a drum. You can bring a drum or you can borrow a drum when you're there. Conscious Loving class with myself is going to start pretty soon, 6 Saturdays starting February 7th. And it's going to be a great opportunity not only to improve our intimate relationships, but also how we communicate with everyone on the planet. And that's so necessary these days. We're going to really see a very conscious way of being with each other that rarely is seen because we've just accepted some really unhealthy ways, unconscious ways, but they seem normal because it's what everyone's doing. So we're going to really learn what might be a really healthy way to be not only with our partners, but also to be with our family, our friends, and community. Oh, this is really cool. Center for Spiritual Living Night Out at the Theater with a tribute to the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. I'm not going to try to shake my hips up here, but yeah, that's going to be on Saturday, February 7th at 5 p.m. at the Redondo Union High School. We're selling tickets right here. I want to gather people from the center to go over there and experience this Elvis Presley tribute. Maybe we'll dance a little bit. We'll kind of gather. We'll try to get some seats together. So join us for that fun night out at the theater. Men's Spirit Groups meeting Monday, February 2nd, 7 p.m. in the foyer. Our Labyrinth Walk will be on Wednesday, February 4th, so 2 weeks from today. We'll do the Labyrinth right after this service. Season for Nonviolence is in full swing starting January 30th and going through April 4th. It's dedicated to demonstrating nonviolence, and it's inspired by the 50th and 30th memorial anniversaries of Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so we have copies of all the practices out there in the lobby if you would like to be a part of doing a practice that's about peace and nonviolence. February is our Bears of Love month, and I would love it that the bears have already started arriving, where you get to bring in a medium-sized bear that will ultimately go to children who are having a difficult time in life. And we'll pray over them. They'll absorb all that happens in the service, and the final thing is the ministers and practitioners will pray over them. So they're going to go to those children charged up with beautiful energy and healing and loving and joyful energy. More information is available in the lobby, on the table, weekly e-newsletter, and Spirit Speaks magazine. A big thank you to all of our wonderful volunteers. We appreciate you so much. Let's give a hand to our volunteers. They're so awesome. Today is a special day because our speaker is the one and only awesome Reverend Mary Morgan. Yes. And before we get to Reverend Mary, we get to hear from the awesome lead musician here, Elise Carver.
Thank you. This song is called I Allow Spirit, and it's one of the songs that I've written.
And I will Thank you, Elise. And that was an original composition of hers, so quite remarkable. Thank you. I mean, sometimes we have to give attention where attention is due, and she's a great writer and musician and singer and all that good stuff. Hi, everybody. It's good to be here. I always say, hello, my beloved Redondo Beach, and to those of you watching I always say on TV, but whatever it is, it's on TV. So how are things going? Good? Oh, okay. Well, let's try that. How are things going? Great. Yay! Absolutely. We're setting that intention right away. The talk topic that I have, it's called "It Works When You Work It." And so when I was talking to folks that are not in this teaching, like my sister or whoever, they go, "What does that mean? It works when you work what? When you're grinding sausage, or when you're cranking the car, or whatever it is." Well, I know that this month, our CSL organization has spent the month of January talking about the first 4 chapters. And I've been talking about it at my center in La Crescenta as well. And I thought, well, it's such an interesting dive, isn't it, to look into the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind, because they're the heart and soul of the book. And then everything that you read in the book kind of supports those first 4 chapters. But I don't know about you, but when I first discovered those first 4 chapters and read them, I kind of was going, huh? What is he saying? What are we talking about here? The way it works, what it does. It's like, what's it? And you're calling God an it? I'm not sure if I get that. So I wanted to just go into today, when it works when you work, is about how it works, how God works through us. And I thought, well, you know what? I've been studying this for over 30 years, and I thought, you know what? I never get tired of reviewing it, because every time I do, I see something new in the book. Have you noticed that when you read the Science of Mind book, or you hear some spiritual talk, you go, I've never heard that before. And you probably have, but it kind of sunk in a different way. So to do a quick review, the first 4 chapters, the first thing is the thing itself. And what's the thing itself? It's God. It's infinite intelligence. It is, Ernest Holmes began every talk, a lot of every talk, almost. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Somebody leaned on the volume, I think. No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing. So he began almost every talk with, there is a power for good in the universe available to you, and you can use it. Okay? So if you started every day with that affirmation, that would be enough, because it would sink into your mind that, you know what? God is and I am. Everything in the world is supported by this loving energy that created each and every one of us. So that's the thing itself. And so the next one is the way it works. And how does it work? Because we're each individualized expressions of it. I think we have interference. There were some solar Wi-Fi on my computer and stuff. Do you want me to use the handheld? You want a handheld? Sure, I'll use the. Okay, except this one's stuck in my earring. Okay. There's all the. Thank you, Vincent. I'll not make these in there. Hang on a second. Put our health insurance back on. Put these on. So here we go. It's on. There we go. All right. So we were at the way it works, and that we're each an individualized expression of God. Do you believe that? Did you wake up and say, God, by means of me, is having a blessed blast today? And then we kind of go, and God, let me tell you, my bank account, let's talk about that for a minute. Or my relationship, or my neighbor, or whatever's driving us crazy. We kind of go with a litany of that. But the deal is the way it works is it works through us. It comes through us, always. And that means even that person that you don't feel so hotsy-totsy about, it's coming through them as well. And what this teaching reminds us is the blessing of it is we get to see the God in everybody. And I always give this example. And it's so kooky, but it gives me such a visual that I say that we're all lamps and we're all plugged in. But some of us forgot to turn the switch on. Have you noticed that? Not all of us. No one in this room, of course. But we know those people you just want to walk up and go, could you hold still? Just could turn that on for you. Let's remember who we are here, right? Sometimes, but we are all the light of God in expressing what? To the capacity that we are allowing it to move through us and allowing our awareness of our God presence to happen. And how does that happen? Through our consciousness. Everything is consciousness. And what's consciousness? It's the way we think. It's the way we view the world. It's the way we feel. It's the vibration that we're putting out. It's the energy that we're putting out. Everything is about consciousness. So whatever we're working on, we're always just working on our consciousness. And as much as we can believe, it will be done unto us. Do you believe that? As much as we can believe, it will be done unto us. However, someone says, but wait a second. I have a jalopy car and I need to get a new car and I don't have the funds to do it. What am I supposed to do? Just believe in it and make it so? No, everything takes more than desire. Because desire can get us excited about something, but it doesn't create, does it? It doesn't create. So think about that. We're always just allowing that power to guide us and to direct us, and we're always giving an instruction to that power as well that's always saying, I'm open and receptive to everything that you have to say. What are you saying about yourself? What are you saying about your life? Because that's what you will produce. So the next part is how it works. So how does it work? The whole universe of infinite substance is centered in you and me. It's centered in you and me. So it also responds to my thought. It also responds to my feeling. It also responds to my belief or what I have faith in. And many times, when we're fearful about something, we have faith, but we have faith in what we're afraid of more than we have faith in what we believe in. And so the rub is to say, I'm going to shift my thinking, even though what's out there, what we call a condition or an experience, may not look so great. I have to see beyond it and see the bigger vision of it. And that can be sometimes hard when you're dealing with a health challenge to sit there and see yourself as healthy. It's like, I don't know, I'm feeling this and that doesn't feel so great. How am I supposed to see beyond it? Well, we always have heard this example of, say you're planting seeds and you've got some carrot seeds and you're going to plant them. Now know first that those seeds contain everything in it to produce the ideal carrot, doesn't it? That seed does, but that seed in itself is not the carrot. It is the beginning of the carrot. It is the unformed state of the carrot. So we put it in the ground, and if it doesn't come up, maybe it comes up as a corn stalk. We kind of go, wait a minute, what happened? And what did happen? We planted the wrong seed. We planted a seed for corn, and sometimes we get disappointed, right? You go, hey, why didn't I get the guy of my dreams or the job of my dreams or the car of my dreams? Why didn't I get it? Well, what do? We go right back to our thought and say, what was I thinking? What was in my consciousness? Was I putting more energy in what I don't want versus what I do want? Is that what happened? But remember that I wrote this on my way in. I always kind of have these things. I said, the carrot seed is something that's in the state of becoming more. I love that. The carrot seed is in the state of becoming something more. So you have to go beyond what you're looking at, right? We have to go beyond the condition, and we have to know, I'm in a state of becoming more. And in that state of becoming more, we don't look to the outside conditions. We don't look to what we already have. We look at there's some unformed thought that's happening right now. And it's that power in thought that I stay in the frequency of and create by thinking moreness into it. I said this the other day to a friend of mine that said, what are you amming? And they're like, amming. I go, yeah, I just created a new verb. It's amming. Like, what am I being right now that's creating whatever it is in my experience? And if I don't want to see what I'm creating, what do I get to do? I get to unthink. I get to step out of that limited thought and go into what is it that I do want. So a lot of times we spend so much more energy on focusing what we don't want. Oh, I want abundance. I want abundance, but I don't have abundance. And I don't have abundance because I had to spend on this and that and the other thing, and I gave money away, but I want abundance, but I'm not getting it. So how am I supposed to know about abundance because I don't have it? And what happens? Where's your thought? It's on no abundance. It's on no abundance. So what you do is you take your mind off that, as our Emmett Fox says in his mental equivalence and the golden key, you take your mind off that and you put your mind on what it is that you do desire. Now, that could be, journaling. It can be creating a vision board. It can be doing, angel card reading or tarot card reading or whatever it is, whatever gets you into the mental state of seeing beyond the limited condition that you're in. Whew. And that means turning off the volume of people that tell you why you can't do something. Anybody have any of those people in your life? Oh, I'm just trying to help you. I'm just trying to be practical. You need to be practical. And it's like, yeah, you need to be practical and say, I am the Spirit of God. And God supports everything that I state and know in my divine being. It doesn't see anything out of that vibration of perfection. So, we can't go to God with our complaints because God's not hearing the complaints. It's already seeing us as perfect, whole, and complete. But who doesn't see us as perfect, whole, and complete? Ourselves. Ourselves. I was going to give a quote here. The first step to building a mental atmosphere is to just change the thought. Now that sounds easy. Where you are in consciousness has everything to do with what you see in your experience. It acts like a magnetic force, doesn't it? But again, desire isn't enough. You can't just desire it. You have to absolutely see it. You have to see it happening in your experience and know that it's not only possible, but it's going to happen. It's happening right now. And you are in that stage of becoming. So if the thing hasn't shown up yet, you can just say, oh, it's in the stage of becoming. It's in the stage of becoming. I'm allowing this to happen. You believe more in the success of your desire than you do of the limitation. Isn't that interesting? Because a lot of times we have a lot of reasons to say why things aren't working out. And the moment that we get into that energy of why it's not working out, what happens? We've just given that instruction to the universe, and the universe says, oh, is that your experience? I am supporting and loving you, and I will create that more in your life, because that's where your mind is at. So it's that we don't pray to know more, we pray to know better. We pray to know better. I have a stronger, my consciousness of knowing that things are working out for my good, that the things that I desire are desiring me, that I am in this vortex of a law of attraction that is bringing into me every experience that I desire, but it can only do so how? Through me. It doesn't happen to me, it happens through me. And how does that happen? Through my thought, through my consciousness, through my belief system, through my feelings. And that could mean, you may have to weed out people that are in your experience that may not be on the same page as you, or may not want the same greatness or goodness that you do. I had heard a story, I don't know why this is coming to me, is that about lobsters. Sometimes when they capture lobsters in a basket, what happens is they try to crawl out of the basket, and the other lobsters pull the lobster that's trying to crawl out of the basket, they pull them down, right? They pull them down to be with them. And I thought, wow, that's like a human experience, isn't it? Sometimes we've got people that want us to stay right where we are because they're comfortable with where we are in our lives in relationship to them. And the moment you start to excel, you want to be with people that are literally supporting that higher vision that you have, knowing and trusting that it's absolutely coming into being. there's a lot of people that say you can't change the problem at the level of the problem. And Buckminster Fuller was one of the very first people that said that. And he said, you do not shift something that is not working by talking about it and trying to correct it. You shift it by creating a new thing, right? So the idea of creating a new thought in our experience, a new thought that says, I am an abundant being, and I'm going to appreciate all the abundance in life. And all that abundance in life is being attracted to me because I am on that energy vibration of abundance or of health or of creativity or whatever it is that you desire. You get into the mindset of, I am an attractor of all the good that I desire. And I am supported by this energy of love and universal intelligence that only wants my best and highest good. And the moment that we get into that place, what happens? All the forces of the universe come to support us. It can't help but doing so because that's the way it works. That's the way it works. Hurt and pain are never are never reduced by constantly talking about it. Have you noticed that? That sometimes the more we talk about the stuff that's going on, like the madder you get, and all of a sudden you were kind of mad, but now you're as mad as a hornet, and you're going to go out there, and then the traffic's backed up, and then they don't have the food thing that they want in the food store, and all that stuff, why does that happen? Because that's the energy we've just projected out there. So talking about what doesn't work is not healthy. I mean, dwelling on it. I mean, it's good to face it and acknowledge it and then say, I'm moving beyond this and I'm not letting this stop or block me. Because those limitations are only created up here. They're not, we always say this, you're the only thinker in your mind. You're the only thinker in your mind. No one can make you have your thoughts. No one. And you get to choose the thoughts that you have and hold on to and use to create this beneficial environment for yourself. Or you can create one that's not so great. The key to living your best life is to break free from the beliefs that are sabotaging you. There's a big one. Imagine that. Break free from the thoughts that are sabotaging you. How do you do that? I had a student the other day, and she goes, how am I supposed to stop thinking all these negative thoughts? And I said, you stop. She did not like that answer. As some of us wouldn't, right? Because we go, wait a second, that doesn't help me at all. How am I supposed to stop? La, 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 la. You know, what do? You do what? You supplant it with a new thought. A higher vibration thought. You supplant it with a thought like, there's not a word of truth in that. There is no lack or limitation in my life, and I am not accepting it. And right here and now, I know the generous, loving spirit of the universal intelligence is supporting my each and every thought, so I keep my thought lifted. And it is literally that you stop thinking the negative thought and say, I'm going to replace it with something better, something that's in the state of becoming. So you can always say, it's here. You know, Dr. Moore loves to tell that story about the family that has 2 sons, and the sons have requested a pony. And so the parents bring the boys into the barn, and they see this huge mound of manure. And the one boy's like, this isn't what I wanted at all. I wanted a pony, and all I got was this big stack of poop. And the other boy goes, oh my gosh, with all this manure here, there has to be a pony in this barn. Feel the difference. The optimist versus the ones going, I'm being realistic. I'm looking at this pile right here. So sometimes we can look at that pile that's right here and say, what's the blessing in this? Oh, isn't that a rub? Sometimes you go, okay, what's the blessing in having an argument with my neighbor? Or what's the blessing in having goose egg in my bank account? What's the blessing of having a health challenge right now? Well, guess what? Is the universe asking you to slow down? Is the universe asking you to become grateful for everything that you do have in your life? And remember, we have this beautiful saying that what we think about expands. Where our energy goes, where our thought goes, energy flows. Always, always. So the moment that we can turn anything that appears negative, right, knowing that we created it, or we are responding to it in a negative way, right? We can shift that. And the moment that we shift it, what happens? It all changes. I always laugh all the time when I come down here that sometimes when the traffic is really bad, or what I call the sanctuary known as the 110 freeway, you can call whatever's challenging you, you can call it the sanctuary of the big line of traffic or whatever it is, right? So that sanctuary, every time I go, okay, I'm stuck in traffic, it's like, or I'll call someone and go, yeah, I'm stuck in traffic and I gotta let this go. The moment I do that, the traffic opens up. It's just so interesting. So this morning, I did a little challenge for myself. I said, okay, you're going to say that every time. So guess what? There's this one section where it's always bottlenecked. And I said, I am knowing the traffic flows perfectly and opens up, and people let me into the lane. They're not, dog fighting me to try to get into the lane or whatever. Everything's working out perfect. And it did. But sometimes if I go, oh my gosh, I hope the traffic isn't bad, what happens? You encounter bad traffic. Right, because you've put it in your mind that it's happening. The universal intelligence doesn't bring me what I say, it brings me what I am. That's my amming. What am I amming? What am I doing? So we don't pray to God to give us more or do more. We pray to God to give us a lifted consciousness. We absolutely direct our thought to say, I am knowing the perfect mind of God is operating through me and lifting my spirit, my energy, my vibration to create the divine experience that I am longing for and looking forward to. Boom, it happens because I've just now lifted it. The consciousness that heals can make something for us by making something of us. And what's that consciousness? It's the God consciousness. It's when we do the meditation before the service. It's when you do your meditation before you go to sleep. And remember, when you go to sleep, it's so important. Think high vibrational thoughts. Think things that are positive. Think things are life-affirming. You can do an assessment of your day, but just say, oh, I am knowing that I am loved by a spirit endlessly that supports me and brings about my best and highest good. Always saturate your mind before you go to sleep because you take that into your consciousness, and that's what you sleep on. And you don't want to sleep on things that are not quite, the way you want it. So what we manifest, how it works is that we get what we want, becoming it first. Becoming it first. So you get into your mind and you think, God is and I am this power, and I am this presence, and I'm declaring right now all this good and great things happening in my experience, and for those that I love too, or whoever you're praying for. You absolutely know that truth, and when you shift that consciousness, you feel it. You absolutely know it. It kind of feels like you're floating on air. And so that's what the idea is. How it works is it works through us. It works through us. God doesn't heal diseases. God doesn't heal lack of abundance, lack of creativity, health issues, anything. What God does is it lifts our consciousness, and our consciousness shifts the entire situation because we are co-creators with Spirit. But God just can't come in and go bibbidi-bobbidi-boo and make it happen. We have to direct that thought, and we have to be receptive to it. We have to be receptive. I don't know about you, but sometimes I get comfortable in my negativity. Why I oughta. Man, they deserve this. Boy, I sure am mad about that. Whatever it is. But we want to let it go and know that the way God works for us is it works through us. And the more we lift our consciousness, the more great good we can express in our lives. And that's today's lesson. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And now we have another beautiful song from our Elise.
This is Grateful by Deborah Barbara. Do we want to take the collection right now, Reverend Mary, or should we do that after? Okay, cool. One second.
Do our collection. Thank you. David. Okay, as we take the gifts in the palm of our hand, let's know together as we affirm, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is. Thank you.
Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is. I'm grateful for the knowing, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is, God is all there is.
Thank you very much. Okay, this is the time of our request for prayer, or if there's questions or anything, if anybody has a prayer treatment they'd like done, or yes, Kenneth. Oops, let's wait for the microphone to come down. Vincent gets his steps in on these Wednesdays, I think.
Thanks so much. Beautiful message today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
I have a dear friend. She's still recovering from a severe asthma attack.
Okay.
She's got a bad issue in her respiratory. She was in ICU for a month. So she's at home health care, PT every day, physical therapy. So she's on about a 3-month recovery. Unfortunately, being in the hospital for a month, she gained a tremendous amount of weight. So just give her a prayer that she'll have perseverance, faith, and she won't give up.
Okay, all righty. And what is her name, Kenneth?
Tammy.
Tammy? Okay, all righty. And so know that this prayer, too, is for any of those that are having a challenge with health right now. And we're going to say this specifically for Tammy and those other folks that might be dealing with something. So let us know right here and now. As I breathe in, I am aware that there is one mind. It's the mind of God. It is that very power, that presence, that intelligence, that divine mind that I know is God. The only power that exists, and I am one with that power. I'm one with that presence. And in this prayer, I'm knowing for Tammy, and knowing for those in this room and beyond that are dealing with a health challenge, that what we know is that the perfect health of God is Tammy's. Tammy is one with that power, and I am one with that power. Knowing that as I speak my word for Tammy, that it is clear, understood, and with a lifted consciousness to know that the divine health of God is manifesting in her right here, right now. And that power and that presence moves her, guides her, and protects her every step of her way in her recovery. Knowing that the health of God expresses right here and now, releasing from the mind anything that might stop or block this, and opening up and being receptive to that divine healing energy happening right here, right now, knowing actually there's nothing to heal. There's only something to know, and that is that the truth of God manifesting as Tammy right here, right now, is manifesting in the divine, perfect, healthy body, healthy breathing, healthy assimilation, healthy body weight, healthy thought, healthy consciousness. A consciousness that is grounded in the idea and the knowing that God is the very power and presence in life, and that I am one with it. And so grateful for this understanding, grateful for this teaching, grateful for this knowing. I release this word into the law of mind, knowing that it is acted upon immediately. And I let it be so, and we say and affirm together, and so it is. Okay. All righty. Someone else? Okay, we got. Hi, Ann. Let Vincent get over there.
I want to thank you for all the years of experience you've had, because your talk today was masterful.
Well, thank you.
Very clear and very on point. And you can't get that without years of experience, I don't believe. So thank you so much. My sister-in-law last Friday had surgery for pancreatic cancer, which used to be a death sentence and is not now. She had a very leading surgeon, and they did what they call the Whipple surgery. And she's very upbeat. And I know from my own experience that these teachings work, because I've recovered from 4 surgeries, not nearly as serious as hers. I mean, 4 cancers. And anyway, so thank you. That's all I have to say. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, what's her name?
Her name is Sue.
Sue, okay. So we'll do a prayer for Sue and for anyone that's encountering surgery and recovery from surgery. So let's know together. This power and presence that I know as God, that divine creative intelligence, lives, moves, and has its being as me, because I am one with it. And I know that as I speak this word from the I am, that divine center within me and with all of life, I am knowing for Sue perfect health, perfect recovery from surgery, perfect healing in every aspect of her body, and a perfect lifted awareness of the truth of her own being and her own consciousness. I am knowing that the divine health of God is Sue's health, and it is the truth of her being. And her spirit remains uplifted and positive, creating a healing environment that creates a consciousness so highly lifted that only perfect health can express. And so as I know this truth for Sue and beyond, I know in gratitude that it is already done, it's already spoken, it's already known as truth in mind, and now it is forming in form, in experience. Grateful for this understanding, I release this word into the law of mind and let it be. And together we say, and so it is. Ooh. Thank you.
Okay, there we are.
There we are.
Thank you for the service. That was great.
Thank you.
Last night I was trying to do a paper on my computer for class, and it kept disappearing. And finally I gave up. I got mad as a hornet.
Don't you get a visual when you say that? It's like,
Yeah. So I went back to it this morning. I said, it's going to work. Everything went smoothly, and I sent the paper off to Reverend Gregory and Monica, and it went so well. So I was just really grateful.
oh, awesome. Yeah, sometimes when we just let go, we just say, okay, I'm letting go, I'm letting God. Okay, God, you figure, our beautiful Reverend Martha always used to say, oh, God, you do it. God, you do it, because I can't figure it out. God, you do it. Sometimes this morning I couldn't get on the Wi-Fi, so I couldn't print out my talk, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding. I'm like, oh, Mary, wait a second, reel that back in. I'm like, oh, I know, I'm just going to change my settings, and I know everybody told me there's solar flares going on and everything's going to go wrong. It's like, not a word of truth in that. What was I just about to buy into? Boom, you let it go, and you just go, okay, I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee, and when I come back, everything's going to work out perfectly. I shut the computer off, turned it back on, boom, everything worked perfectly. I'm like, thank you, God. Because it's also important to acknowledge it, right? Acknowledge when it happens. You go, hey, it worked. Guess what? It worked. Because, boy, we sure are heavy duty on the when it doesn't work, right? Like, yeah, and another thing. You know, that guy that you sent me, he was terrible, whatever, right? So we're always kind of that way. But always acknowledge when it's working. Because what happens? It expands. It expands. So I'm so glad for you.
And my dog came up to me when I was mad, and he got in my lap and just was calming me down. And that's when I just let it all go. So, little Rudy helped me out.
Oh, that's so cute. I know. Our pets, they pick up on it, don't they? Or they pick up on when our energy's kooky, too, don't they? My cat all of a sudden will get the zoomies and start running around the house. I'm like, all right, where do I need to center myself? Because he's kind of reminding me, like, okay, we're all high anxiety. But I love when they come and comfort us, too, and say, hello, remember, you're God. Don't forget. I love that. All right, thank you, David. Thank you. You know, we've got like 15 minutes. Are you up for a little guided meditation? Cool. All right. It's the new year, and we can kind of pick some new words and experiences. So here we go. And if you want to play some cool music behind it, we're so blessed to have Elise here. She's such a talent. I mean, my goodness, we're so fortunate. She's so blessed to be here, she said. Mutual blessings. All righty. So let's just take a deep breath in and just allow that chair to support you. And as you breathe in, just picture that air coming up through the bottom of your feet and moving through your body, relaxing every muscle, every bone, every cell, everything in your body. Just allow that breath to breathe through you and move through your body, lifting up through all the different chakras in your spine and up your spine and through your shoulders and the back of your neck and out the top of your head. See that breath circle back around another time and going now deep from within the earth. Just breathe in that earth grounding energy. Feel it move up through the bottom of your feet. And this time that breath is moving through your body, acting like scrubbing bubbles, just taking with it anything that doesn't belong to the truth of who you are. Just see those scrubbing bubbles taking away and whisking away any energy that might be kind of sticking around that's not so great and not so positive. Just let it clean everything up and move up your spine, out the top of your head, and see it go way out into the morning sky, pulling with it that stuff that no longer serves you. And now one final time, breathe now from the very, very center of earth, deep down. And as you feel that breath come up through the bottom of your feet, see that breath as though it's going through and turning on little lights all throughout your body, in every cell, in every muscle, in every bone, just turning on those lights. It's the light of God, really, moving, lighting up your spine, through your shoulders and your neck, out the top of your head, and see it go way out into the universe and exploding into like fireworks of beautiful light, expressing who you really are right there. And I want you to, in your mind, look down at your feet and see yourself walking through a meadow. Beautiful meadow, barefoot, and the ground is perfectly comfortable and wonderful. That grass is soft and it's warm. It's the perfect temperature, and you look up at the sky and there's just a few puffy clouds. And you see the grass moving slowly in the wind and the birds darting in and out. There's a butterfly or two. And you smell the sweet grass. It smells so beautiful. You're just in this idyllic place. And you see the forest off in the distance. And that's your goal. But to get there, you're going to cross over this beautiful stream. And it has 5 perfect stones for you to step on. And you can feel just the gentle spray of the brook coming on your feet. Wonderfully soft and beautiful and refreshing. And you get to the other side of the brook. And the grass is there, and it's just this perfect ground that's easy to walk on. It's almost as though you're floating. And you make your way towards this beautiful forest, and you look down, and the pine needles are just laid down across the trail perfectly for you to walk across. And you look up at the trees, and you can see them gently moving in the breeze. You see the blue sky beyond it, and you can hear the rustle of the pine. You can smell that beautiful, fresh, deep, earthy air. And it feels like it's a very part of your nature. And you look in the trees, and there's an owl. You see some raccoon, and there in the distance are deer, a mama deer and her babies. There's all sorts of little critters running alongside you as though they're joining you and leading you. As you walk through this path, it just feels so wonderful, like you're at home, safe, secure, and inspired. And as you walk down this trail, you come into a clearing. And you've been here before. And there's this perfect log that's carved out. It's like the size of a love seat, and it's perfect. It's just made out of wood, and it's made just for you. And you sit down in it, and you look up, and you're encircled by these trees. And you can hear just the message of these trees. Just allow yourself to be comforted and nurtured by these trees, by this space. And you look up and you see a light being coming towards you. And they walk into your presence, and you greet each other. And this is a being you've seen and you know instinctively. And the being sits down, and it feels really good to be with this being. And they say to you, so, it's the new year. It's a 1 year. Is there something that you'd like to release? Is there anything that you are through with that you want to just release right now? So give yourself a moment and think about it. And the being has a basket. And they say you can just put whatever it is in the basket. Is it a thought? Is it a word? Is it a vision that you had? Is it feelings? Whatever it is, think a moment of what you'd like to just let go of and that you're done with. And now I want you to take your hand and just put that thing in the basket that this light being is holding. Release it. And now feel what that feels like to know that it's out of your experience. It's gone. And so the light being reminds you that nature abhors a void. And so it says to you, what would you like to create in this 1 year? In your personal power year, what would you like to create? What would you like to see come about in your life? What's something that you're ready for becoming more of? Give yourself a moment and think. Think about that. And when you're ready, you're going to reach into the basket and see a symbol of what that is. Whatever it is that you choose for your life this year, some experience that you'd like, and picture it in your hand and bring it to your heart. And see that it is absorbed into your frequency, into your beingness. And now check in with yourself. How does that feel? How does it feel that that is a part of who you are now? And this light being embraces you, says, good job. Good job. You did well. And feel how that feels. That energy, that light, that love. And with that, the being rises and says, you know, whenever you want to, you can come visit this spot. They will be present. And you are in control of creating whatever it is you desire. And so as you both stand, you bow to each other and thank this light being for its divine love and its guidance. And you bid farewell. And you leave the circle of trees and head down the path. And there are the same fuzzy creatures greeting you. Little squirrel, there's the deer, there's a ladybug, little beings, and the trees are just moving through the wind gently. And you feel so at peace and so one and so connected to this energy. And as you move out of the forest, you encounter that brook again and the 5 perfect stones, and you step on them and move over each one, letting the spray refresh your feet. And you step into the meadow. You see the birds moving in and out, and it just smells so sweet, and you feel so enlightened, lightened up. And you take that feeling with you throughout the day, and remember that you can come back to this place anytime you desire to feed your soul. And slowly look down at your bare feet and picture yourself walking right back into the sanctuary. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. Did you have fun? I can always feel the spray on my feet. I don't know why, but I can. All righty. Well, I thank you all for this beautiful Wednesday. We have, as I say, we have liftoff. We have liftoff now. All right, so go enjoy your day and do great and fun things, and we'll see you Sunday. All right, thank you.